Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Code's Corner. This episode, new mini series side mission between the main K2. If you can't read the screen right now, that's right. It's Cyberpunk time. We're bringing it back. Wow, it's been a it's
Ah!
it's been a
Wow,
while.
what an event.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow,
I miss
yeah,
it. I don't know
it
about you guys.
has. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it. I
Yeah,
fell asleep through like one of the missions, I know that much.
I mean, you made like $20,000 in the previous mission that I've then had to repeal from your bank account, but.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunate,
Yeah.
because retcon.
Yep. So this week, of course, I am your host, Cody McCloris, playing Mr. Davis Murdoch, aka Bonus. He's the man in the metal armor. I am joined today by the Imperator, playing Cairo Pharaoh Zetsubo.
Hello, greetings all.
I'm also joined by our lovely co guest, Mr. McFunkster, playing Andrew Fixer Oid.
Hello, fellow humans.
Ah, yes.
I didn't miss this at all. I did not miss 1 minute of this.
What do you mean, fellow human?
Now I remember what we left off from.
Yeah. So, last time we left off, a quick recon. We had just murdered a middle class executive for Just Industries with her own robot butler.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that now.
So, just to kind of refresh the minds of everybody else, over in the bottom right hand corner of this lovely little digital game board, we have the meters for every single group and corporation currently in the K4 universe. Each little pip on these meters represents how much the group hates us and or knows about us, with the finished one being over
Indeed.
here. Yeah,
So I'm very surprised that Jackson Industries still doesn't know who we are.
yeah, you guys did a perfect ghosting job last time, and like left
Honestly,
no evidence, literally no evidence that you exist. So they have no idea.
I'm I'm also surprised that Kodian Enterprises doesn't know who we are. Seeing as didn't I like hack one of their broadcasts
I think that was a Jackson thing
or
that
something?
you said you hacked and like
Oh yeah, yeah,
hijacked
yeah. I
their
hacked the
broadcasts.
Jackson. I hacked the Jackson Industries,
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah. I made them look like fools.
Yup. So
Anyway,
yeah, so as along with the sort of different structure of this setting, we have in between missions a little something something called downtime. So if y'all want to buy an upgrade, get a new piece of cyberware, roleplay something, make a new contact, that is all an option in the days right now. So we only have one downtime action per day. Keep in mind, of course, we do pay our rent/mortgage/taxes every month, or every week rather. So, keep that in mind.
okay. In about a day, I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna more different strains of my Pharaoh's curse. Uh, one of them is gonna be disguised as a Windows. One of them is going to be disguised as a firmware update. So like for a security system, like anti-malware.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
anti-malware is updating
you,
and spreading malware.
your anti-malware is malware. Who would have thought?
It's the ultimate form of inception.
Exactly.
Think about it. Like it's the perfect crime.
Yeah.
Your anti-malware is like, who would think of that?
Certainly not the well-trained
I mean, a
corporate
lot of people, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
Honestly,
the concept of a Trojan horse doesn't exist in this universe.
no, I know
No,
that,
there
but
was
I'm
no Trojan
saying,
War.
like,
Ancient Greece is not real. Okay, it's a myth propagated by the
no, no,
government.
no, no. I'm saying I'm disguising Trojanware as anti-Trojanware. Think about it. It's perfect.
I
It's
mean, I guess it's ironic, but it's not like especially brilliant. I don't
it
know
is
what
though.
your
It
deal
is though.
is.
A Nigerian prince wants you
Would
to
you
donate.
think do you think to scan anti-malware as malware?
Isn't it
I mean,
automatic for most computers
But like
nowadays?
anti-malware doesn't scan itself as malware. Like
It's
it wouldn't
self-aware
look
virus.
for
So the
you can't have
anti-malware.
self-aware anti.
No, the anti-malware is also simultaneously a virus, right? So it's a piece of like antivirus software that infects other computers with itself to protect against other viruses. It's a big logic loop.
Oh, that's perfect.
It just causes a crash by looping itself and then going, malware detected, anti-malware detected, update, 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 malware detected, anti-malware detected. It just never stops.
And then I'm going to describe or discuss third as like a really like convincing, like, oh, you just won $500 rent for your apartment for like a day.
Yeah, we have to cover the rent for it.
Click here to claim. Click here to claim, and then it just keeps popping up and popping up. So it's pop-up malware, and if even if it's not clicked on, then it spreads and it's everything.
Nice. So you can, yes, I'll let you have like the one use of Pharaoh's curse per day as always. I believe you also wanted to work on a new contact for the whole group and not just for you.
I did, yes, indeedy.
All right.
So Brit
Yeah, Britt Niffin.
Niff, yeah, aka British.
Yeah. So
Shut up.
well, it isn't as bad as Gustav, all right? So don't tempt him.
Exactly. It's not as bad as Gustav the Goose Malshaka, who hates us,
Yeah, who
Oh, that
dislikes
guy's
us.
still hilarious.
He is hilarious.
who
I
also
love him.
has a bodyguard, genetically modified 8 Hans with a flame. Okay,
Really
all right,
jacked 8-year-old.
all right. Yeah, a really jacked 8-year-old with a flamethrower. All right. So let's roll. So what am I?
So you roll, yeah, roll both of those d4s separately.
Oh, so
All right, so
oh,
for the first one, okay, it's just gonna cost you money to use this person. That makes sense. And then the one, oh,
he doesn't like
boy.
me. He doesn't like me.
Okay,
He
so
hates me.
to set an actual scene. Now that we are 10 minutes into the recording session, the camera zooms in on a large like skyscraper apartment block. And all like the glowing neon signs, the AR advertisements floating around in the air in front of this windowed massive skyscraper. And
Yes.
the skyscraper is like a big square, right? And one like the street side part of this big square is this tiny 4-foot wide alleyway, right? That runs between this apartment. And The camera approaches this 4-foot wide alleyway and finds that there is AR, like augmented reality caution tape projected in front of this alleyway. This is like condemned, do not enter, like hazard, stuff like that. And the camera
Alright.
wanders down this dingy hallway full of leaky pipes and dripping water because it's always raining in this city. And we pass through this alleyway into like a courtyard for this apartment building, but the courtyard is a shanty, like it's a big shack with like corrugated steel roofing and like
I like it.
a rundown wooden door, and it's like all really DIY and patchwork. And there's a big neon sign that has like the part of it turned off, right? And it's like crooked and hanging sideways. And the full sign says
Is
the
it like
condemned.
flickering and everything?
Yeah, so the full sign says the condemned bar, but the E and the D are knocked off. And the N actually says the condom on it instead of the condemned.
God damn it!
Yeah, I gotta make it a fun pun. And the camera like slurps through the big pane of glass that like that makes up most of the front of this part of the bar. And inside is our lovely friend Cairo, sitting at the bar across from the bar's owner, a man everybody calls the captain because he's a peg leg, is the only reason.
Okay. Instead of like, cybernetic and
X, he's poor.
Wow, runs a bar is poor.
Yep.
Off to a great start, right?
Yeah.
So Cairo is going to be smoking one of those glow sticks that he swiped from that one security guard
Oh yeah.
at Jackson Industry.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna turn to the captain. I really saw the appeal of these things as I like twirling in my hands like.
Yeah, so a glow stick is like the size of like a full Cuban cigar, right? It's a pretty beefy, like smokable, quote unquote narcotic, and it is like a neon glow stick that comes in various colors, and each color is a different flavor, and it's basically like a jewel, but with like THC in it instead of like normal nicotine, essentially. So you're like the appeal of these things. The captain, so he has like a really janky bionic arm that's like it did not come in a box. Like he put this together himself probably. It's like rusted pipes and like an old like pen spring for a finger, and like it's really just messed up and not good. And he is like clunking away, like putting bottles in on the shelves and stuff. And he turns around, and part of his face, so like his right eye and the whole part of his skull is a big metal plate. And he turns to you and he sneers and he's like, they're all right. And he spits into like a spittoon behind the bar. And he just like reaches down below the bar, and he like his really like janky arm pulls up a shot glass, and he smacks it down on the table, and he pours himself a glass of unknown liquor. It's in a normal like brown bottle. You don't know what it is, and he just like downs it in one shot, and he's like,
"What am I, chopped liver?"
You want one too, then, huh?
Yeah, of course. Well, if I'm sitting at my friend's bar, love a drink.
Yeah,
on
whatever.
The house, of course.
He's like, you
and I give him like a wink.
So you make me a charisma check, actually.
All right.
See if you can convince this bar owner to give you a free drink.
Well, I wink at him, so like, I'm buddy with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you bring good business in here. I'll let it slide. And what do you have?
I was gonna say he like grumbles and he like brings out another glass, but like, hey, whatever works.
Well, you got pretty high on that check, so.
I know, and my charisma's 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me a shot of the good stuff.
All right, so he's like, ah, I got you, and he looks behind him, and he like fingers some bottles of various stuff, and he pulls off a big. It's probably like a massive it's like probably like a full mason jar, right? And he pours some of it into a shot glass, and he slides it over to you. This is my family's original.
Best stuff you can get.
Like it's the strongest
And
stuff I
I
can give you.
cheers, and I gulp all in one,
So now I need you to make me
and
an
then
endurance
place
check
the
really quick.
place the shot glass upside down on the bar.
Nice. Is it
Endurance of 5.
enough?
Endurance
so
of
you drink this
so
like it's
I
moonshine.
like
It's
shake my
moonshine.
head a bit.
Yeah, so you shake your
Oh,
head
yeah.
and you open your eyes and like the world seems to be like after imaging a little bit and you're like, wow, this is and it feels like
So
it feels like drinking cough syrup, or like molasses. Like it's really
okay,
thick.
okay, all right, yeah. So I'm gonna go, woo,
He's like, ah, I can't hold your
because
liquor
that's
there.
good. Yeah,
Family
that's
special recipe. It's illegal to sell anywhere else, so don't tell anybody about it. And he puts the mason jar like back on the shelf.
I'm just gonna turn to him and say, my lips seal.
He's like, and he like chuckles and like smacks the bar with his big metal hand, and like sparks fly off because of course it's a metal bar. Yeah, so you were looking for a new piece of chrome, a new piece of cyberware, right?
All right. Chrome, like the slang used for cyberware.
Yeah, pretty much. As is in most cyberpunk franchises, it's of course either like chrome or like cyber or something like that. And so you already know this person. Why does codename British dislike Cairo in particular?
Probably because I brought a dying friend in during an operation to install cybernetics.
Ah, okay. All right. So you've worked with this guy before. So you just kind of like you take down that shot of mystery moonshine, um, and you kind of like lean over to the captain, and you're like, I'm looking for some new chrome, and he's like, yeah, British is in the basement like usual, and he just kind of like waves his hand over to like a big hatch in the floor, like a wooden hatch in the floor, and you just kind of like open them up like old storm shelter doors, and you walk down the stairs, and
Before I do, I have like my Anubis mask is always, but it's like folded up to the back of my head. So it's like on my like jacket almost, like
yeah,
my long jacket. So I like flick my head forward and the helmet like folds up and around and the ears like pop up.
yeah.
And I pull the hood over the mask because British doesn't know my face. I never have shown British my face. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a check for British actually. So you walk in. Excellent. So you walk into the room, and so you walk down the stairs, and there's like a short hallway, like a curve. You walk in, hit the first door on the left, and this is like a substantially like nicer area from the bar upstairs. So this is like clean, like metal walls, floor, ceiling. It's poorly lit, but like it's a basement, so who cares? And you open the sliding door, and as soon as you step in, you hear a "Get out!" and then a can clangs against the side of your helmet as British from across the room has tossed like an empty like jar of like ear swabs at you, basically.
So with my voice, I guess. If it'll load up. All right, there we go. I think it's the one. Maybe.
Yeah, so I can describe British while this is going on. So British, he is a short, probably not morbidly obese, but he's still a pretty overweight dude. He's wearing a white like surgical mask. He has a big like bionic eye, but it's not like a normal one. So it's like a bionic eye, and then it's like telescoping, right? So it can like extend out of his head for like magnification purposes. And he has one bionic right hand, and he's wearing a glove on his left hand. He's got the apron that's still covered in like stained dried blood over it, and there is a big. So he's standing on the other side of the room, and there's like a big countertop over there with like a bunch of trays full of like surgical tools and drills and screwdrivers and stuff, and like a welder probably. And in the middle of the room are two big, like tables, basically, and they have a bunch of like needles on them, I think, like sticking up. So people with cyberware, if they're getting like wiring put in or like upgrading their like jacks and stuff like that, they lay down in these chairs and these like ports, stab them in the spine and stuff like that, and like put the wires in them. These are pretty gnarly looking tables. They probably still got blood on them too, because he wasn't bothering to clean this place very well. Yeah. One really, really big light in the center of this room. So like only like the tables are really, really well lit, and the rest is kind of like nightclub levels dim. Alrighty. So,
Alright, can you hear me now?
yeah.
Okay. Is it loud?
Alright, so,
Like, at all?
yeah, so, British, he is, short, fat Dr. Man with a telescoping robotic eye and a robotic hand, and there are, like, a couple tables in here that he uses to, like, you know, upgrade people's cyberware. It's also where, our robot friend, would probably, I mean, probably isn't, like, his first choice to get repaired, because,
Yeah.
I mean, like, Mr. Oid is, like, the highest tier of robot you could possibly be, and it probably has a lot of components that British would not have any comprehension of. But, you know, in a pinch, British can fix robots and fix people.
So, as he, throws the jar at me, I'm gonna turn and say, bold move.
So you see bold move, and he's like glares at you from across the room. He's like, "What do you want?"
Look, I'm looking for a new piece of chrome. Where can I find it?
He's like, "Well, it depends what you're looking for. What do you want?" And he turns around, and you see his like robotic hand, the top part of his hand, a little like light turns on, and like an AR projection appears that you can't read or anything because it's only for him, but it projects some light, and he taps away on something, and the tables sink into the floor, and new tables pop up in their place, and they're covered in robotic arms, legs, torsos, eyes, like weird claws, built-in swords, guns, like all sorts of different, you know, little fun tidbits, upgrades for bionics.
Alright, would it be? Like, what information do I have on it?
So you're looking for like a built-in like stun baton, right?
Yeah! So, alright, Doctor. I'm looking for a stun baton.
And he's like, ah, yes. I believe I have a middle of the road option. And he's like, it'd run you a little bit extra though because last time was an
A
experience.
mess, I know.
Like, all right, as long as you're aware of that. And he picks up. It looks like, you know, like the car jacks, right?
Yeah.
And they have like the flat bottom end and then like the long rod extending off of it. Let's take a smaller version of that.
As long as it disables opponents, we're good.
And he's like, yep, this will do the trick. And he picks up this weird-looking piece of cyberware, and he taps on his hand again, and the tables retract, and the two surgical tables pop back up. And he's like, he taps the table, and he's like, all right, friend, hop on here.
You know the drill. No touching the mask.
He's like, yes, I'm used to working with people like you. And he's like, I got this eye from last time I didn't follow orders. And he taps that's like the side of his face, and his eye like telescopes outwards, and like starts like moving around, really weird looking and like unnaturally, like scanning over your robotic arm and stuff as he like looks for how he's gonna put this thing in.
I'm gonna lay up on the table and put my arm. And my arm is, I believe,
Yeah, your arm is like full bionic. It's like the most advanced you can get, basically.
so I'm gonna roll up my sleeve. And I didn't get my initial robotics.
No.
So, my bionic arm has like a bunch of artificial tattoos. So, yeah, those tattoos like part, and like the magnetic ink comes to the front of the arm.
Yeah. Yeah, so you roll up your sleeve and you lay down on this table, and you feel like the weird like chill as the needles in the back of the chair like plug into your wiring that you use to get into the matrix, and as the anesthesia is administered, minute flat, not even like 10 seconds flat, you are unconscious, out like a light, and you wake up several hours later. With you're still in the same position you were before. Your arm feels a bit heavier than it did before, maybe. And the doctor is kind of like standing over you, looking at you.
I couldn't hear a good portion.
You wake up, and your arm feels a bit heavier than it did before, but like nothing's changed. Your mask's still on. Everything's still normal. And the doctor is standing over you. The operation
Can I be heard now?
is fully
Better.
completed.
You can hear me normally?
You're very low, but I can hear you, yes.
Alright. So that's enough of whatchamacallit, no, voice changer. I'm just gonna go with the,
Alrighty. So, so you wake up having done the procedure. So that's a full day for you. Does Mr. Oid want to do anything with his day, or is he just gonna, you know?
Well, rent's gotta be paid somehow, so I'm gonna go to the shitty chem lab in my shitty apartment, and I'm gonna start cooking.
Okay, so I forget if you have an actual thing for that, or if it's just like a check you do. Let me see. Yeah, so just give me an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
You have very high intelligence, so you should be totally fine.
Should be fine. It's 5.
Yeah. All right. So now roll me 1d6.
Okay. 6.
Wow. Okay. So you now have 6 doses worth of whatever narcotic it is you want to make. I have a list of said narcotics that like exist. Not the full list, but it is like 6 different drugs that are enough to use for now. Oh no, the message is too big. Well, all right.
The
Texting
what?
it is then. So you can just tell me which of these you want to make, and if you want to sell those, then we can make a nice contact for you to sell it to.
Alright.
For the viewers, I can give a quick rundown of what we're all looking at. First drug is Oracle, named after the oracles of like Greek and Roman mythology, where they're really smart and they know a lot of stuff, but they're also like super lazy and can barely move a muscle because they're constantly really high. And that's what basically this drug does. It makes you smart, but makes you like lethargic, and like you lose your memory and you can't talk properly, and like you speak in riddles. It's weird. Howler is a sensory increasing drug that like super heightens your like senses and stuff like that. However, its side effect is it makes you become animalistic, hence the name.
Cocaine.
Yeah, but like worse.
Or Flocka.
Yeah,
Or Flocka.
Yeah. The third drug is called Buster, that makes your you basically it removes the mental limiters on the human muscle usage, so you can use more of it. Side effects include hurting yourself because you can't control your own strength anymore. 4 is Crush, which is a highly addictive form of synthetic alcohol that causes severe depression. Because alcohol does that already, but this is just worse. The 5th one is Whisper, which heavily enhances your reflexes and endurance at the cost of making you hyper paranoid and anxious. And the 6th drug is one called Miracle, which is the ultimate detox drug that is also an anti venom that like removes poisons and contaminants and nerve agents and radiation from the body.
But
however, its side effect is it causes violent vomiting and diarrhea to accomplish its task before the poison would kill you. So it saves you. However, it also takes you out of the fight. Essentially, is the caveat.
So well, I'm still in the doctor's office, right? Really, just to end out my thing. I'm gonna turn to the doctor and tell him, and don't worry, next time I'll get you back.
Alrighty, so that arm costs you 3,000 colors, or 3 RP in total.
So I'm gonna like place it down on the surgery table, and then as I'm like walking out, I'll like turn back with the jackal helmet on, and I'll tell him like I'll get you back in payments for the last time I was here.
He's like, yeah, you will, don't worry. And then he like
Wonderful work as always, doctor.
is like, happy customer, happy doctor, and he starts like scrubbing off the table for all the oil and grease he had to put in your arm. So those
Yeah.
$3,000 are gone. You're down to, I believe, 8 RP, $8,000. Yeah, so you leave the doctor's office, you head back upstairs. Has our lovely robo friend decided the drug he wishes to make?
I think I'm going to have a crush. You know, I don't want to immediately start putting the high-end stuff out on the streets. You know, suspicion worries me.
All right. So you brew, or I guess make 6 cases of synthetic alcohol. Yeah. So where do you want to sell this to? You can sell it to a different bar. You can sell it to the Condemned, where Cairo is, or you can sell it to, like, I don't know, a frat house or something. If you really wanted to, up to you.
Well, Cairo already knows someone who might want this, so I'll just go to the Condemned.
All right, so right as Cairo leaves the secret, quote unquote secret basement to the Ripper dock, the street dock, he Cairo walks up, like kind of like moving his arm, feeling it, all with the new maintained joints of his bionics and the new weight of his equipment, and right as he walks upstairs, in through the front door, out from the rain, walks our lovely cyborg companion, Mr. Oid. I don't know how. I probably have like a weird like dolly with these cases of alcohol in it, but they're just like big milk crates, 6 of them of alcohol that you wheel into the bar.
Alright, as I walk in, I will go, Mr. Cairo, it is good to see you here. I would like you to, introduce me to this friend of yours, yes?
Which one?
I'm gonna point to the barkeep.
The barkeep, who has been staring at you the entire time, goes, I'm right here, but sure, what do you want?
Well, I'll wheel over the cases. I'll go, I have some product that I think this would be a fine place to distribute, you see.
So Cairo's just gonna like do the whole bridge of the nose thing, like, you're really spreading that poison here.
Where else?
I don't know, maybe the slums?
He says,
Are we not in the slums already?
Not my point. I'm saying, like, the streets.
I do not wish to be directly related to this product, you see.
The barkeep is just kind of like, he like sees the big cases of alcohol, and he goes, how much do you want for them?
What will you offer?
He kind of like stares off into space, and he kind of like looks underneath the bar, and you hear him like moving some stuff over. How much would he pay? Because beer's not expensive.
How much
at all.
is there? That's the question. How much is there?
There are 6 cases of beer.
6 cases of how many?
6 packs, I believe, they're sold in.
So 6 by 6, 30.
30.
What's the cost of an average beer? Like, what, $5?
I can find out.
$5 per bottle.
Beer costs. So depends on the quality of it, but since it's supposed to be like a really cheap synthetic beer, I'll say it's like like $5 per. Hold on, what was that? Beer cost. So an 18 pack costs $6 for Budweiser. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, so $6 for like a 6-pack is probably like the average. So he would probably offer, like 5 per 6, so like $30.
5 by 6, $30 for each case.
Yeah, so that's 180
30 times 6.
bucks in total.
Very well. It didn't take much effort to make these. I shall accept your offer.
Alrighty, so you make an extra 180 bucks. So that's
So
gonna go
as this transaction goes down, I'm gonna like swivel so that my back is to the bar. Hey Andrew,
Yeah, that's Kyron.
where's Bonus anyway?
Oh, I don't know. Probably shooting up some junkie somewhere. I don't know what he does with his free time.
So as he answers, I'm gonna take a hit of the glow stick and then flick it away, kind of like disgusted.
So you flick it away, and it lands like on the floor, and then it like shatters essentially because it's still like it's a glow stick, so it's not like a cigarette. So it just like it lands, it like shatters and tinkles across the floor. Captain grumbles at you as he gets like a pail and like a broom out to go clean it up.
Never said I wouldn't clean it. Anyway, see if you can get into contact with him. Might have a couple of leads that we can look up on.
Very well then. I shall look for him now. I have no other business here, and I leave the bar.
All right, so you're gonna go try to track down everyone's favorite mercenary.
Basically.
Alrighty, so make me an intelligence check, either or both of you, does not matter.
Sure.
Nat 1. I really don't know what he does with free time.
Yes. Wow. Okay, so the
My
robot.
intelligence is 8, so I passed.
So the robot walks outside and looks around and goes, data incomplete, and then walks back to his house. Cairo, on the other hand, I think you don't find Bonus, but you find an ongoing live stream, right, from some frat house, down not a frat, but like a nightclub, right? And you're watching this live stream. Some random civilian is trying to make some quick cash by streaming this like nightclub and like the party and stuff. And you're skimming through this cyberspace by AR HUD, and this catches your eye because it's a really, really popular stream, but there's like thousands of people watching the stream, but it's just like a nightclub. So you tap on it and stuff, and you start watching it, and you realize people are only watching it because it's a stream of Bonus beating up the people in this nightclub, like the bouncers and stuff like that. Like, so he's like you join the stream, and he's like smacking the bartender's head against the bar counter, like repeatedly.
Well,
he just like slam.
bail him out. I'm gonna flick my head forward and bring down the mask. And turn to the captain. Well, Captain, it's been a pleasure as always.
He's like, hey, come back tomorrow. I might have a job for you guys.
Sounds good. I'm gonna tap on like the data pad on my wrist, and have my bike meet me out front of the bar.
Yeah, so you tap that, and the bike, cut to out in the street, where like a random person is walking by and this motorcycle like just like turns on by itself, like moving into the alleyway, and the guy like freaks out and it's like ah, and like walks around the across the street and walks around the motorcycle.
Well, let it begin. And I'm gonna go to that bar.
All right, so you head to this other nightclub. I'm gonna make a check for bonus to see what exactly, like how severe this is gonna be. Oh goody, what's bonus looking like? 4, fantastic. Okay, so you, oh god, this is gonna turn into the mission for today. It's not even supposed to. Okay, well, time to get derailed, and I did it this time, so I can't even get mad.
Good job. Good job.
So you pull up.
Please,
so you
turn
round the
that
corner.
music down a bit.
Yeah, so you round the corner of this street, right? And there are like 2 or 3 Ryanstown police cars, flashing lights. Cops not there actually, but the flashing lights are all on. The cars are parked out front in like a roadblock of the street. And now, when I say Ryanstown Police Department, you would all know that's a Kode Enterprises subsidiary that is like contracted to cover the security for the whole city. So even other like corporate territory that other corporations own, the RPD has jurisdiction over. So they handle like the street crime, essentially, and by handle I mean poorly handle. But like murders, they do investigate. So yeah, these cop cars are parked outside, and you hear like the bumping bass from in the bar, and yeah, stuff like that.
So I'm gonna keep my helmet on and go in, and like push through the crowd almost and try to find him. I know he's at the bar. I'm gonna look at my the live stream and like see where he is now.
So you see that on the live stream. Actually, I'm gonna make just a general. Actually, no, give me a D20. I'm gonna make a combat roll for bonus to see generally how good is he gonna do. He got a 14. Okay, what's his strength plus perception is 13. So he does indeed pass. So you see. That's you check your live stream as you like walk out to the front door of this building. You read your live stream,
Jeez.
and you see that the
Hold
camera
on.
is now watching.
Please
eh?
repeat.
So you watch your live stream and you see the camera is focused on Bonus, who is now he is. So well, the camera's like on the first floor, right? And it's looking up to the second floor for like the manager's office, where the glass shatters as the manager flies through the window and slams into the dance floor and cracks the LED glass on the dance floor, and like the blood splatters everywhere. And Bonus is like in the window glaring over the crowd. He cracks his one fleshy knuckle. And the cops are like, freeze, get on the ground. And he just like does not seem to care whatsoever. He just turns around and walks back into the office.
I'm gonna like while he's there, I'm gonna like go to where the manager is and like look up at him. Does he see me?
Let's see. Does he see you? Does he really care? Yes, he does see you. So he looks down.
I'm just
He
gonna...
gives like a nod, and then turns back into the office and disappears from view.
Let's see if I can open comms with him.
That would actually be a program you want to use. A program
Yes.
by the name of, I believe it's called Search. Yeah. So I'm technically it'd be Scan, but Search will work, for this thing. So make me a perception check.
So I'm gonna look over to my wrist as like an LED display comes up through the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So like I see it through the mask. It's a
What's your
3 intelligence or perception. Oh,
perception?
7.
So it's still a pass. Or no, is it? Yes, it's still a
Okay.
pass. So your AR HUD changes a little bit, and all of a sudden you can see every single comlink in the room. Right, so you can see where like the, like the watchdogs like pop up thing. Like
Yeah.
you scan people, it's like that. Where like you see like the comlink ID pop up and stuff like that, and like the information like is it turned on, is it active, is it like playing
Yeah.
stuff, and you can like you scan the crowd, and you see the person playing the like streaming it. You see their comlink active streaming, in the crowd. You also see the cops. I will tell you how many there are. There are 6 police officers in this crowd trying to worm their way through. But the crowd is like, kind of like, it's like they're not actively trying to fight against the cops. They're just kind of like not letting them through because they want to watch the fight.
They're creating a wall.
Yeah, they want to watch the fight too much. And the cops are like, out of the way, move, police. And nobody cares.
So I'm gonna
You see-
open
you
up
see-
my
you see-
comm.
Yeah, so bonus is comlink. You do see it. You detect it through the wall on the second floor somewhere.
Vocals, Codian, switch it. It's copyrighted.
So you so you do see bonuses comlink through the walls.
So I'm gonna open up a comm link with him while I move towards the back of the club.
So you open up comms and he just goes, "What do you want?"
Bonus, what are you doing? We're supposed to remain anonymous. This isn't exactly anonymous.
He's like, I'm doing a job right now. Give me a minute. And you hear like some more grunting and like like clanging of metal on.
Bonus, your face is plastered all over the internet.
It's like, and then my mask is plastered all over the internet. And you hear like a yell of pain as he like punches somebody.
Let's go. We have a job.
He's like, my job's done anyway. And he's like, I'll meet you in the back alley.
So I'm gonna like grunt and close the comms. Ah!
Yeah, so the cops, so I think as you like grunt and like turn to start leaving, the cops like all push right past you and don't like care. They all push past you. They get into the open dance floor. A couple of them start like they run into like the manager's body and start like checking his vitals. You hear actually because you have the comms open, you hear them call for an ambulance, like a bus, and the live streamer, you like brush past them and they're like cheering on bonus and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, just stick it to the man and stuff like that.
So I'm gonna do a little party trick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like LED displays on like the walls and everything, right?
Yeah, this whole place is the whole dance floor is LEDs.
So I'm gonna take over like the monitor displays, like TVs and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and through like a little GIF, that's like the Anubis head like laughing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna patch in and put like the little display of, or like not a little display, but it's gonna be like just the Anubis head like laughing and whatnot.
Yeah, so give me an intelligence check.
And it's gonna come over like everything that can be displayed upon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there is no firewall for this club. Like, they don't care enough. So you probably would like as you brush through the crowd, you find like a random outlet and you plug your like terminal into the outlet, and your eyes go like blank as your consciousness zips into the matrix for like a split second, and you pop into the matrix, and so the matrix, right? It's a massive like synthwave grid view, right? With this massive skybox, the walls and the floor and ceiling are all glowing, and in front of you is the series of nodes for the club, right? And one of them is like the entertainment lights, like the dance floor and like the disco ball and like the sound system. They're all connected to like this one node essentially.
So the lights are gonna go red and like face downwards onto the dance floor, and then the displays are all gonna change to the face of Anubis, like laughing.
All right,
And it's gonna be like a digital like chibi thing.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be that.
So you walk up to this like node in the matrix, and it's kind of like, I think you probably like take it like you like materialize like the like a spray can, and you spray paint the Anubis symbol on this node in the matrix, and then all the lights turn red and like the chibi appears, starts like laughing, and like the laughter comes over the sound system and stuff.
Yeah.
And the cops are all like they're looking around like freaked out. They're like, what the heck?
Are there people in this club that would like notice the Anubis symbol?
Give me, well, actually, how many okay, so you're gonna give me a charisma check.
I'm gonna give you
Charisma check.
charisma check.
Yes.
Four.
Nice, that is a pass.
Yes.
So you yeah, so when the laughter comes over the floor, the lights, stuff like that, and the cops are freaking out, some of the people, including the live streamer, they like focus on the Anubis laughing
the displays.
chibi. Yeah, and you're still reading, like watching the stream on your own terminal. In the chat, some people are like, "Oh, that's Pharaoh's sign. I know that guy. I've heard of that guy. You know, he's like a big time like anti-corporate hacker and stuff like that." Like some people in the chat recognize you.
And then on like a ticker, it's gonna say like this event has been officially whatchamacallit, promoted by Pharaoh. Or by the Pharaoh.
Yeah, so the laughing chibi stops and like that like message pops up across all the displays in the room. Yes, everybody starts like cheering and stuff like that, and the cops are like, "All right, this is too much." So they just like grab the manager's body and start dragging him out of the building, like trying to leave before the crowd turns violent.
And then the like ticker display, it's gonna come up under the Anubis like chibi head as it like it's like eyes turn red, and it goes into like a growl almost as the ticker says oink oink officers, have fun running.
Yeah, and so the cops are like they're really like, we're not get paid enough to deal with this, so they just like grab the manager's bloodied corpse, and they don't care what the bouncers, they're like probably pretty much dead anyway. They don't really care.
Yeah.
They just pick up the manager. They start dragging him out through the crowd, and like a bunch of them are like, they have their guns drawn now. They're fully just like, back up or I'm gonna shoot the first person who walks up to me. And you walk out of the front
Does
door
the
of the
crowd turn
club.
violent?
You leave before you know that, but the crowd are like yelling at them and like yelling insults at them. But you don't stick around to find out. You can watch the stream if you want to keep that up.
Sure. I'll keep that up as I go back to my apartment, or actually back to the condemned.
Actually, what would this? I'm gonna make a percentile roll. That's what I'm gonna do. How severe does this get? Y'all want to roll high if you want to be violent. 51. Huh. Okay. So not a full-blown riot. But you watch the stream, and where do you want to go? Back to the bar?
Yeah.
So you hop on your bike, And I think you get on your bike, right? And like the Bluetooth like display pops up, like moves from your wrist terminal onto like a tinier, like this like holographic like AR projector on the center console of the bike, and projects the stream in between the handlebars, so you can watch and drive at the same time. So you're watching and driving, and after like a good like 5 minutes or whatever, you see that like people are like throwing like cans and beer bottles at the cop cars as they like start to drive away. Somebody like tosses like I think as the cops are trying to like get the manager in the ambulance, and they get in their cars, the crowd surrounds the cop cars, like shaking the cop cars and like trying to flip them over and
Ah,
stuff like
yes.
that. But the you probably notice that like as soon as like that like it escalates, but to that point, a helicopter like flutters overhead, and the crowd like freaks out and like scatter, and they all like skitter away and like book it. You probably
So as I
probably
walk,
hear like a gunshot too, as the helicopter like fires a warning shot into the crowd.
so as I walk into the bar, the live stream display away.
Yeah. And actually, I'm gonna make a check for the captain to see how info savvy is this fixer. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. So you walk in and you turn the stream display off, and the captain turns over to you and he goes,
"No."
and the captain turns over and he goes, nice trick you played on that club owner, huh? You and Bonus, hmm?
Can't hurt with a little collaboration now and then.
And he's like, yeah, I get you. And he's like, well, the job I had for you, I figured you might want to get some work done today. So I called the Johnson, and he's over in that booth over there, and he points over to one of the booths in the back of the room that's like not like a full different room, like separated, but it's just in like an alcove of this like old bar. And Bonus is at the bar already. Is Oid at the bar already, or is he like still at home?
Okay.
Nice. I like it. So he's not here yet. So he points over to this this like Johnson over the corner, and it is a young-looking dude in a suit, well manicured. He looks livid, like he looks just beyond furious. And he has a briefcase on the ground next to his like booth chair, and he has with him one really tall, buff-looking bodyguard in a suit who's like standing next to the booth.
So before, like, I take a glance over, and before I move, I'm gonna flip my mask back up and keep my hand on my pistols, which are the hands of Anubis. I'm gonna keep my hand on one of them as I move over and take a seat at the booth.
Yeah, so you take a seat, and the Johnson looks over to you, and he looks very, very angry. But he looks a little bit more like calm to see that like you've arrived. And he turns to you, and he's like, "Are you the man that the owner of this establishment told me to get into contact with?"
Well, if you're looking for a pharaoh, then look no further.
And the Johnson like gives you like a judgmental glare, and he reaches down. He picks up the briefcase, puts it on the table, I think at this point, bonus, he gets it from the bar, from his place at the bar. He's still probably got like some like blood and stuff like on his like trench coat. He's like wiping off with like a napkin or something like that. And like from probably like his bionic hand, he's probably like coated in blood too. And he's got like a towel. He's like wiping his like hand off with, and he walks over, and he stops in front of the bodyguard, and they both like have like a stare off, like a standoff for a couple seconds, and like look each other up and down, and bonus grunts, and the bodyguard grunts, and then bonus sits next to you. But
I'm gonna like scoot down the booth.
yeah, so you kind of scoot down, and Johnson's
All
like,
we're waiting on now is our last associate.
"Yep, everyone's favorite boy."
What are you doing, Mr. Oid?
Well, I was probably, lounging around my apartment, not having anything to do, until I realized, oh wait, I do have something to do today.
All right, so Johnson he puts up his briefcase, and he's like, "Alrighty, well, now that you're all here," and then Oid like bursts in the door and is like, "Do not worry, I am here."
I am here.
and he walks over, and the Johnson opens up his briefcase. It's a very nice, slim, like fancy briefcase, metal. And he opens it up, and he takes out a photo. Well, I mean, he wouldn't take it out, but he kind of like, so you see he has like a head, not a headset, but so it's a type of cyberware that like there are sunglasses that are built into your head, and they can like retract and come out of your like forehead to like cover your eyes. And he has like an additional little metal bit that projects an AR screen in front of his eyes, so he can like always see an AR. Pretty common modification for people. So he projects an image onto his AR, and then he kind of like moves his hand, and he makes it available to like
hold
everybody.
on.
Yeah.
Repeat briefly.
So, the Johnson, he has like a AR implant that lets him like see an AR. So he projects this image onto like public AR space essentially, so like everybody can see it. And it's just like a PNG of a photo. It's a photo of a very expensive car with the windows smashed, the tires popped. I didn't know the tires are bulletproof. Tires are not popped, but it's covered in graffiti, and like the windows are smashed in, and like the bumper is like torn off, and there are 6 like early to mid 20s like punks like leaning on the car, posing with, throwing up like gang signs and whatever, making weird faces, and they're all covered in tattoos, and like they got like mohawks and like crazy haircuts, and a couple of them have like cyberware. And the Johnson, he like puts this image up onto like public AR space, and he looks to all of you, and he goes, "Do you know what that car is, gentlemen?"
No, not really, and I don't know why you have us 3 hacker specialists, we could say. Or, well, cyber specialists, you're afraid. I don't know why you have 3 cyber specialists here that you think could deal with this.
And he's like, "Well, I'll enlighten you all then." He goes, "That is a Dionysus class supercar, Kode Enterprises brand." So you recognize that name because it's like a very common car amongst like the rich people. It's basically the K4 version of a Bugatti. Like this is like the most expensive car you could possibly purchase in the market. It comes stock with bulletproof tires and armoring, and it can go invisible and stuff. It's ridiculously expensive. It costs like millions of dollars to purchase. And
So,
It's you see it like destroyed here, pretty much.
so let's start off with this. Who are you and why do you want our services?
He's like, well, that's kind of unprofessional for runners. Identity kind of, like anonymity is kind of a big deal in your business, isn't it?
Yes, but we need to know who we're dealing with. Can't have anybody revealing who we are.
He's like,
Can't
well,
have any loose ends.
I think I can give you the information that I'm a very rich man, and I'm kind of new to the upper job market, and I need to make a name for myself. And so I can't have the first part of my reputation out in the public eye being getting bullied by a bunch of college kids. So
And
my job
what
for
exactly?
my job for you is to figure out who these people are and make them pay for the repairs to my car. I don't care if
And
you have to mug them. I don't care if you have to rip the arms off their bodies, take their houses, maim them. Like, I don't care what you have to do, but you gotta do it. Get my money
but
back.
here's my question. Why would we, three poor as shit, I would say casual people living in the slums, help out someone of the upper class? Where's our motivation?
I will give each of you 6,000 collars to do this job.
I'm gonna look over at Bonus and then back at him. You know, I don't know. The risk, the reward. Seeing as the rich see us, middle to lower class, as, well, let's say insects living up in the higher ups of the megacity, why would we help you?
It's like, well, because I'm paying you, and you're mercs, right?
I'm gonna point over to Bonus. He is a merc. I'm a cyber specialist. And our friend here is a drug dealer.
He points to the robot.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I will ask one final time what led you to us to help you?
well, he's like, I asked for specifically you three by name because you all are very good at what you do. He goes, he like looks at Bonus and he goes, I need you'll get my money. Like I know you'll do that for me. And he points to Pharaoh and he goes, this group of thugs has a hacker of their own. He is good enough to circumvent my initial attempts at finding him.
Hmm.
And their muscle, of which they have a couple of them, they killed the last people that I sent after them.
So you want us to go on a suicide mission against a gang who, by all respects, has stuck it to the man in such a worthy way because they wrecked your car, which you could probably afford another one of.
The Johnson like is once again like livid. He is like he feels like he is being disrespected and he is very angry. The bodyguard next to him is now like before he was just like staring out at the rest of the room trying to like ignore the conversation, and now he is like he has turned around to face all of us and is like arms folded across his chest, kind of like shaking his head like disappointedly at us.
The qualms of the rich, I'm sorry, are not our own. And for such low pay, I don't know if I could guarantee my services.
Like, well, how much do you want then?
Well, we are engaging a gang do you realize how far gangs spread?
He's like, well, one of the few pieces of information that I did manage to get out of my previous group of associates before they were terminated was that the members you see in this photo are the only members of the gang. They are very new and have only been active for about 2 to 3 months. So, not be picking on like, basically what he's saying is, these guys aren't going to get you in trouble with like the Crimson Crescent or like the Face Gang. Like, no, this is just like a small time group of like kid punks who think that they're tough.
Do you have the name of their hacker?
He goes, I do not. However, I do have the links to their various like essentially like media accounts that he can share with you, so you can dig up that information on you. Because the hacker goes by the name of Riddle.
Do I know this person?
No, just like no role needed. You definitely do not know this person. This is like a super small time, like prankster hacker, essentially. Like the kind of thing you did in the nightclub would be what he specializes in, essentially.
Probably some script kiddie piggybacking off of my codes. Lowest I'll settle for is 8.
The Johnson like leans over the table a bit more and he goes, 7.
So I'm gonna grin behind my mask. 775.
7.5.
760.
765.
Well, you drive a hard bargain, but we'll take 765. Higher than what I was asking, but we'll take it.
Okay.
Oh, this guy's dumb. This guy's so dumb.
7,650.
No, 7,650
Yeah, per person.
per person.
I'm gonna chuckle a little bit.
I
That
think
was funny.
I think Bonus like grins behind his mask and kind of like adjusts him like in his seat uncomfortably, because like Bonus is not like the bargaining kind of man. He doesn't really care about the money anyway, but you know. So the Johnson looks over and he's like, the money will be transferred when you get my debt collected. If you happen to, he's like, I accept this payment in weaponry, cyberware, and proof of bodily harm, or cash. That cash works too. And he goes, meet me at this address when you have the information. And he like messages you like the address to like some random spot in the middle of nowhere in the city, and it's like, meet me there when you got the stuff, and the payment will automatically arrive in your bank accounts.
So before we go anywhere, I'm gonna extend out my hand, and does he take it?
Ooh, give me a charisma check. Let's see how good an impression you make on this guy. Ooh,
That's a 9.
you're rolling really good today. Okay, a lot of 9s today. So
Yeah.
it's not your hand, like slowly and carefully, and the Johnson, he seems like his feet, like his anger has been like placated for a while. He seems a bit like calmer, and he shakes your hand. Yeah. So
As he shakes my hand,
yeah.
my helmet is gonna take a screen cap of his face, like silently.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to do anything with that screenshot right now, or?
I'm gonna set that aside and let it run through a few databases.
Sure. So that would be another use of the search program. So give me a perception check. Ooh.
Oh!
Right, roll me
Oh!
1d10.
Oh, that felt good. So I know he's Codian, right?
So actually, it's okay. So yeah, so you know that. Okay, so you run his face through a quick database. Wow. 1 minute later, it pops up with a couple of headlines and articles by like the big time media centers. One of which
Are these
is
like
Jackson
are
Media.
these like controversies?
Well, kind of. So you learn that he works for what's the company called? Hermes Package Deployers, the largest courier service in the city, in the world,
Oh
I guess.
boy.
He works for like a mail company essentially, and all the headlines are about how he's a very new like high tier executive. He's not like board directors level, but he's like mid to high tier management that came to power like 3 days ago, and is like the news articles are questioning the legitimacy of his promotion and stuff like that. There's no proof of anything,
Okay.
but companies like the media is like, well, this is like a really young kid that's just got put in a really high position for somebody his age. So like something wacky's kind of going on, maybe.
So as we walk out, I'm gonna pass this information along to my associates.
Yeah, yeah, you do that. Bonus is just like, all right, whatever. I have a job to do. I don't care. Like,
I'll say, well, that's a little interesting, I suppose, but do you plan on doing anything with it?
We'll see. Only time can tell.
alrighty. So, what are we? What's our first step?
Well, let's go to the location of the vandalism first.
Okie dokie. So, you use like the timestamp like geo ID of the photo that he sent you, and you head. And sure enough, it's in front of the Hermes Package Deployers local branch. The parking spot is probably still got like little bits of glass on the ground. Maybe some like empty, probably like an empty paint can here and there. Um, it's been a couple days since this vandalism happened. The car's gone, but yeah, it's just like it's a parking space reserved for like this dude's like middle management position, essentially, whatever rank he happens to actually be.
Ooh, does the parking spot have a name?
It does, yes. Let me find a name. Because I didn't think I'd have to name this person, but you know, where I'm looking for futuristic name generator. Okay, let's see. His name is Darwin Lennox. I like that name.
All right, Arwen. Let's see if we can't find a couple of vandals.
Alrighty. Yeah. So what are you? What's your goal with searching this
All right, so I'm gonna pick up one of the spray paint cans, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna toss it over to Bonus.
Sure.
Think you could find me a fingerprint?
Um, this is a question. Would bonus
Or a usable print?
Yeah, sure. He's gonna make a perception check.
Well, if they're using spray paint, you've got to think that they've gotten some on their hands.
Yeah.
Maybe
9.
left something in the can.
Yeah, so you toss in the paint can. He looks around the paint can, and he's like, "Yeah, one of the idiots got their fingers covered in this stuff, and yeah, I can get a full print off it. That's why."
Try to look it up if you can. See if we can't get a name.
I was like, "Well, I don't really have access to that kind of information. I might be like, unless you want to like use somebody that has access to like the criminal database." You know,
Yeah.
he's like, we can look
Sure,
up the
why
company
not?
that they bought the paint cans from.
So at this point, Cairo's gonna like sit down and think, like just crisscross on the ground.
Sure.
Mask's still on, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Do you still have those social media profiles?
Yeah, they're still in a nice, neat file in ARY.
Pass it over to me.
So he like moves a hand and it, boop.
All right, I'm gonna open them up and scroll through, but it looks like I'm like scrolling through air.
Yeah. So you scroll through the social media accounts. Are you looking for anything in particular?
A hideout, like a location.
Sure. Yeah. Make me another perception check.
Use this one. Oh yeah.
Nice. All right. So you scroll through. They weren't dumb enough to like leave the geotags on. They did get rid of those. But all of the photos that appear to be like in where they live or where they hang out
All right.
appears to be in some kind of like abandoned warehouse or something, because there's like a lot of metal walls, floor ceilings, a lot of big shelves that are like devoid of like crates and stuff. Like it looks like these people, because there are 6 of them, one of which is female. They all live in like a warehouse. Yeah, you don't know where exactly. You could probably like triangulate it by all the photos if you really wanted to. Yeah, it looks like a warehouse in some like rundown part of the city.
So are there like outside pictures as well?
Yes, yeah, there are.
All right. So I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group as I like stand up. Well, let's I guess start by going to the abandoned factory district.
Alrighty, yeah, Bonus just gets back on his hover bike and zips off.
I do the same, except for my actual motorcycle.
Yeah. Ground goes.
Hey, you know what? It's classy.
Well, seeing as I don't actually have a vehicle,
You
I
have a
think
car.
I'm just gonna leave it up.
Yeah,
Do
you have
I?
a car.
Yeah, you bought a car.
Yeah,
When?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It's been so long.
you've
right?
had a
Yeah,
car.
you've had a car.
Your
Whatever.
character came with a car.
Yeah. She was my motorcycle. Yeah, so we all head off. Now I get to roll on the random encounter table. Yay! 1d100 time. Wow, I got a 60. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is actually pretty convenient.
Okay.
Alright. So, as we are traveling to the abandoned warehouse district, this will take probably like an hour or two. So it's gonna be like the sun is setting, down on the ground level of the city. It's always bright because there's so many lights. But like it is like nighttime, and we stop at this stoplight, the three of us with the two bikes in the front and the car behind us, lane splitting because we're jerks.
Yeah.
Is a stoplight, and over to our right is like a Chinese restaurant essentially,
Hmm.
and it smells real, which is super super rare. Yeah, as in like it's not synthetic, like it's genuine, organic, like actually farmed somewhere Chinese food with like actual animals that used to be alive instead of being like synthetically produced. And it smells like ridiculously good.
I'm gonna check like the time on
Yeah,
like
it's
my
like
HUD.
it's like probably like 7:30, 6:30.
Anyone up for a quick bite?
Bonus is like,
Oh,
yeah,
look at
so-
Cairo, and I'm going to blink.
So I assume we're in like an AR like video chat with each other, like as we're driving, and just seeing the robot like, yes, food, because I too consume sustenance. Fellow humans. Yeah. So Bonus is like, looks like they need some help too, and he points to like a sign in like an AR sign in the window.
Okay. What was that?
So, Bonus is like, yeah, sure.
We're
like,
all
what
in
do
like
you-
the AR chat.
Yeah, we're
And
all
then
like a video
Bonus is
chat.
like, sure.
Yeah, like, and he points to an AR sign in the window, and it says, like runner wanted. Like free meal for runners, essentially. Like he's offering like a meal for people. So do you get in some food?
Sure.
All right. So so Bonus and Cairo they pull their bikes off into that same parking spot again because they're jerks. And Mr. Oid, are you going to eat with them, or are you just gonna like keep going?
I'll meet them at the place.
All right, cool. So he's gonna keep driving. I'm gonna roll again for you to see what you end up encountering now. I can move back and forth between. 10. Alrighty. Okay, so as we're parking our cars and we're going into
Bikes.
bikes, and we walk into this Chinese restaurant. It smells beautiful in here. Meanwhile, there is Mr. Oid driving in his car, and you like leave. You keep driving. You move past this like junction, and you keep moving towards the abandoned district. And as you get into like the lower class parts of this city, you're at another stoplight. Actually, no. You're driving down the road, and you're coming up to like an intersection, like a crosswalk, and I need you to make me an agility check as a thug sprints across the crosswalk, carrying a big duffel bag, being pursued by a couple of beat cops on foot.
All right, that's a 10.
Wow. Okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to avoid him? Do you want to stop? Do you want to hit this guy with your car? Hit the cop with your car. What do you want to do?
I think.
Well,
I'm
you can either-
gonna stop just short of him.
Okay, so you stop, like you screech your car right like a couple inches before this thug, and as he like sprints across the street, and he like dives over to the side and like rolls over, like freaked out. He lets it like a scream, and like the cops are like freaked out for a second. It's just like cars like comes to a complete stop in like a split second, and the thug. I'm gonna make an agility check for the cops and for the thug. So the cops definitely catch the thug. So the thug, he totally face plants in the street.
So
Like-
does his car like skirt to a stop, but like the guy runs into the car?
Well, yeah, like the guy gets like so scared, like surprised by this car, like almost like creaming him. He like dives to the side, like does a roll and like falls over, and he drops the bag. And the two cops, they run up to this dude, and they start just like beating him with like batons, like nightsticks, and it's like whapping him repeatedly with these sticks. And like on the ground, stop resisting. Just desist, and like beating him up. I'm gonna make a check for them to see if they like straight up just like kill this dude.
Well, X, it would seem that the ball is in your court.
All right.
I'm going to step out of the car and I'm going to examine the scene a little. The cops are like focused on this guy, right?
Yes, they are. They are beating him up and trying to like wrestle with him to put like handcuffs on him, basically.
All right.
Take out the cop.
Yes, become a murderer. Just cap two cops in the street.
How many of these officers are there?
There are two of them.
2.
Okay. Well, I need to look through my character sheet.
He's actually gonna do it.
Oh my god! Don't kill the cop. This is gonna go so wrong.
I mean, either kill the cops or kill the thug and take the money.
Yeah.
Either way, take the money.
Yeah. So while you're thinking about this, in the meantime, cut back to our friends in the noodle shop. We walk into this noodle parlor, and it's like a normal Chinese restaurant. It smells amazing. Very well themed. There's like some nice calm music in the background. Is there music for like Oriental themed in here? Let me see. There's classical music. This will work. So.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we walk in this restaurant. You can like see like the steam from the noodles coming from the kitchen through like, the doorway and stuff. And this older Asian gentleman like waddles out of the kitchen out front, and he's like, "Oh, it's like good evening, gentlemen. How may I help you?"
So Cairo's gonna flick his mask up, and take like a slight bow to the gentleman.
Yeah, so the guy, he bows back. Bonus does not bow because he doesn't know this culture. So he's just like, all right, whatever.
Good evening. What's on the menu for tonight?
And he hands you like the menus and stuff, and moves over to a table. And yeah. It's
So
like,
Cairo would know this food because multicultural, you know.
Yeah.
I'll have one spicy udon bowl, please, with a shot of sake.
Like, of course. And then he was doing a bonus, and bonus is like, yeah, can I have like chicken teriyaki and like not edamame, Christ, lo mein.
Shrimp
And he's
tempura.
like, not Japanese. He's like, I'll have some like lo mein and like chicken teriyaki, and the guy's like, of course. And he shovels off to go make y'all some expensive but real, genuine food, which is
Hey,
pretty
you know
rare.
what? I'll pay $1,000 for this. I don't care.
Bet no. So, as we were waiting for our food, cut back to this much more interesting and intense scene where this arrest is going on. What is our robo friend gonna do?
All right. So I've got my my tranquilizer needles, and I'm gonna walk up, and I'm gonna stick both of these cops.
Wow. Okay. Just gonna
At least he's not killing them. At
Commit-
least
okay.
they're not dead.
commit a quick round of assault real quick. So knockout. Which one is that exactly?
Is that hypo on my character sheet? It's labeled as
That's
yeah.
hypo. Yes. Okay. So, yeah. So you walk up, and you so your hand, what happens is your hand unfolds, and your fingers become like needles, and you like load in 2 shots of this like hypo drug, and you walk up to the first. Actually, make me an agility to stealth up to these cops. Make it an advantage because they're preoccupied.
Okay. 7.
7. That is enough. So these cops are way too preoccupied. The guy's still like trying to like wriggle underneath their grasp. And the first guy was like, I think it's like a taser trained down the criminal, and it's like, stop moving. You just walk up and like little stick with the back of the neck with this like little syringe, and he's like, cease and desist, and it's like falls unconscious. And the other cop stands up, whips around, and is like, hey, what are you? And just falls unconscious immediately. The criminal is in handcuffs, writhing in the ground like a worm. Before you.
Take the bag. Take the bag and leave the criminal.
Well, what do you think? I walk over. I say, I thank you for your contribution. I pick up the duffel bag and I get in my car and I leave.
The guy is like, you bleep 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 bleep. I'll get back at you. Like this haven't seen the last of me. You know, I'll come for you. Whatever. I have friends in high places or whatever. And you're just like, yeah, whatever, dude. And you just pick up the duffel bag and walk away.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So is he yelling like clanker?
Yeah, so he's like yelling racial slurs for a robot, which is Clanker, and like associated things. So
Droid.
yeah.
Clanker.
And so you pick up this like bag of stuff, you toss it in the back of your car, and as you like start to leave, like the some people like come out from like the shops and stuff around, like trying to see what all the commotion is about, and then like start recording this criminal handcuffed in the middle of the street as you just like peel out. Do you check what was in the bag at all? You just like nod.
Nice.
Are you gonna look in the bag?
Yeah, or are you just gonna leave?
Not right now.
Look
Okay.
in the bag.
All right. Let's get some-
You're a robot. You don't need to worry about like driving.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be here with all the cameras on me.
That's
I'll,
true.
you know.
True.
Good point. Very smart. Wise man.
See.
So he peels out, and so after that like quick bit of intensity, we cut back to the very calm, serene Chinese ambient music, and like the lovely scents and smells and sights of this restaurant. It's like not like empty, but it's like it's quiet. It's very tranquil, very calm. There's some incense burning in the back room.
So has Bonus ever had like real food?
Probably not in several years.
But like, would he know all the different kinds of food?
Yeah, he knows about food. There are synthetic foods that are like
Okay.
based off of the normal, just that they taste a lot like, not a lot worse, but they taste like fake. It's like eating McDonald's versus eating actual chicken. Like it's a definite, like you can taste the difference.
Oh, it's a big difference.
Yeah. So he hasn't had real food in probably like 5-10 years.
So the last time Cairo would have had like actual like home cooking was like probably when he was like 10.
Yeah, so this food comes out. The old man, he wheels out the food and stuff from like the big tray, and it's steaming. It looks so good. It smells amazing. Like, you know how in anime, like the food looks so good.
Yeah.
It's like that, but in real life. And it's
So-
like the best. It's perfect. It's great.
So there's not a lot of people in here, right?
No,
This is
there's
like a
like-
mom and pop shop.
Yeah. There's like 5 other people in here.
So Cairo's gonna take the chopsticks off the table and just like smell the bowl, cause like, and like mix everything together, and just like savor like that moment of like this is actual udon.
Yeah, so you like take in the scents and smells, and it's like this smells like gourmet food. Like this smells like
Oh, yeah.
legit traditional food. I'm really hungry if you can't tell.
Yeah, I am too.
I've not had breakfast today. So and so you're eating this bonus. He gets his chicken, his lo mein, and he's like salivating. I think he deems this moment worthy enough. He removes his mask. He takes it off. And you see
Wow.
that, like, his actual face. He looks to be in his, like, late 30s, early 40s. So he's an older man. And there are 4 metal prongs. One into the corners of his jaw, like his cheeks, and then 2 more right above his temples, where the mask, like, actually, like, clicks into his skull.
Oh wow.
And he takes it out of his head, and he clanks it, and it's like a heavy thing. He clanks it on the table next to his food, and he is like he's like staring this food down, and he's like salivating, and he's like,
So Cairo is still like really young. We're talking like early 20s.
yeah, Bonus is an older man by your standards.
That's a difference.
Yes, and like number one, he's an older gentleman who's like still like the muscle of our group, so he's a jacked old man. You know what I'm saying? And
Hold on, wait, what?
he is a like very, very dangerous older gentleman, so he starts like digging into his food, and you start digging into your food. We cut to Fixer, who is calmly driving down the road with the duffel bag in the back of his car.
Are you listening to What Is Love?
What is love? Maybe to hurt. Yeah, exactly. So then we cut back to the restaurant, and the owner of the shop, he like watches from the kitchen. He's like, oh, do you need any more refills of like drinks or anything? And he comes over about halfway through your meal, which is like golden
Heaven.
Yeah, it's like heaven in food form. My God, am I hungry?
Yeah.
He like waddles over. He's very like before he was like pretty confident about what he wanted to say and stuff. Now he's like very timid, very shy, and he walks over, and he's holding a cred stick in his hand. Well, he's like clutching it with like both of his hands, like right to his chest, clutching with both of his hands very tight to himself. And he walks over, eyes on the ground, and he walks over, and he goes, "Excuse me, gentlemen, but I was wondering if I could ask a favor from you all."
And what would that be?
He's like, it is my grandson. He wants to join one of the local gangs, and we want to discourage him from doing that because it'll get him killed. He got his brother killed, and now he wants to get into it, and we can't convince him not to go. So we're wondering if like you could talk to him, and it's like convincing. It's like, and I'll pay you, and he like waves this like card stick in your face. And he's like, and I'll pay for your meal and stuff.
I'm gonna put like my hand on like his hands and like shake my head no as I leave like 1,000 collar tip.
Good God. Okay.
and be like, "We'll do it."
All right. So you like auto bill $1,000 to this dude to pay for your food. It was probably only like a couple hundred, and you're just like, "Bink," and probably like 400 probably something like that. You just
Yeah.
bank it away, and he has no AR gear on him, but he'll see it eventually, and he's like, "Oh, thank you," and like he bows really deep and like repeatedly, and he's like, "My grandson, he lives upstairs, and like I can take you to his apartment,"
The way.
and we finish our meal, we get up, and we walk upstairs like through like the kitchen. So this old man, his wife is in the kitchen cooking all the food with like his like daughter and like granddaughter. Like it's like a 3-generational like mom and pop shop right here.
Wow.
This is the most wholesome stuff you're ever gonna see in K4. Trust me.
Honestly, I know what's gonna happen. I'm coming here again.
Exactly. New contact, new NPC time. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
See, this is the stuff that Fixer isn't getting because he didn't want to come in with us.
he has no reason to. He can't eat. Well, he can.
Doesn't mean he can't
He-
enjoy the aesthetic.
He just burns it in his stomach like last time. So actually, I'm gonna roll another random encounter for Fixer, so he's not just sitting there doing nothing the whole time. To make him feel included, you know. 52. Wow. Okay, a lot of really middling numbers today. Okay, 52. Wow.
Middle of the
This is gonna be-
road.
This is really terrible. Oh no. Okay, so Fixer, you are driving along. You're on the highway, like hooks up the different districts of this super city, mega city, and you get off the highway, and you are at a stoplight next to the highway, and this group, I'm gonna roll a d20. That can
Oh,
be good for
jeez.
you, my friend. Great, a 12. That's not a good number.
Ah, Christ.
So you pull up, and this group of 12 robed individuals move into the middle of the intersection, and surround your car. Do you look like a human or do you look like a robot?
I mean, right now, I'd be disguised.
Okay, so so think you pull off like the off ramp of this highway, and you see these people, and you're like, "Oh, human time," and you disguise yourself immediately.
Just keep the windows up. Just keep the
yeah,
windows up. They want
so-
to sell you Christ.
So these guys, they're all robed in like dark red, black robes, and they surround your car. And one of them, who's like hood is like down. He's bald. Kind of puts like tattoos across his like forehead and like on his bald head and stuff like that. No cyberware you can see. He walks up and he like knocks on your window and like makes the move to like roll your window down for him.
Do you?
I will roll it down.
A little bit.
Not all the way. Definitely not all the way. Not enough for him to put his hand in. That's for sure.
Okay, so he makes this to move your hand and you go dunk in like an inch. And he's like, "Well, they'll have to do, I guess." He's like, "Good evening, sir. I am insert name here of the insert cult name here, and
Anti-Mechanicus Church.
yeah, it's like the body purist group, and it's like I'm here to ask you, sir, if you have any cyberware on your person."
So, Andrew, you should turn to him and be like, "Yes, hello, human."
Human.
Okay, so I guess I'll turn to him and I'll be like, not quite. I don't really have the money for that kind of thing.
I'm just your average working class Joe.
This is the man made of metal. Okay, okay, so you say I don't have the money for that, which I guess is kind of true. And the man looks at you and he goes, "Oh, that's very good. So you're not a true sinner then." And he goes, "Well, are you a member of the Great Spherical Church?"
I can't say
I don't
that I
believe
am.
I've heard of that before.
And he goes,
Oh,
Well, I'm
Jesus.
surprised." And he reaches into like the sleeve of his robe and he pulls out a big pamphlet.
Oh, no!
And he pulls out two. He slips one through the window and he opens the second one and starts reading off of it. And mind you can't move because the car is still surrounded by people. So he's just reading word for word. He goes, "Page 1, the Great."
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to take this as an opportunity, and I'm going to copy his face into my database.
Oh, no!
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Features the name again. I'm gonna name this person so like he if I get a person to work with. His name.
Mikhail.
His name is Oscar Demirin.
Oh, no.
Cool name.
Oh, no!
Okay, I'm gonna add this to your character sheet as a person you can impersonate. Whoo boy.
What was his name again? Oscar.
So I'm gonna spell it out for you. It's Oscar with a Z. Oscar Demirin. So Damiran.
Okay, X. I'm gonna take this opportunity and ask, what's your charisma?
My charisma is like one of my better stats.
Yeah,
It
you're not, I
is
think.
9.
Yeah.
Okay, what if you try to convince them that
You are
he's
the real
part
one.
cyborg?
Oh god.
What?
Try to convince, like, the other members in the group that he's part cyborg, or he has, like, mechanical augmentations.
Or be like, you have a mechanical soul, and just like, like really just mess with this.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah!
So yeah, so this guy's just
Like,
reading off
turn them against
pamphlet,
him.
and he goes, "All right, Stricture 1 of the Church Dogma," and he begins reading off this pamphlet, and cut back to our other duo. Oh, this is a great not mission. So we walk past this kitchen, the tri-generational mom and pop shop that is this excellent noodle shop, just top of the line. God, I'm hungry still. And we walk up this
Same.
like rickety wooden stairs, this old apartment building, and sure enough, there is like a long hall with a couple of like doors for different apartments, and one of them on the right he brings you over to. And make me an intelligence check to know what the symbol in front of the door stands for. All right.
5, I know.
The symbol is from the Malfu clan.
Oh, no.
Everyone's
No.
favorite gambling, extortionist, blackmail, trafficking, smuggling ring. So it's like it's I'm just gonna tell you what it is. It's a big lotus flower petal from like the like mahjong tile. It's a big lotus flower, but it's like a crocheted like rice mat that's like hung on like the door knocker of this like room. And the old man, he turns to you and he goes, he's still thanking, like bowing to you, thanking to you, and he's like, "Oh, thank you," and he like knocks on the door and then he walks back down the stairs.
You know what this means.
Bonus is like, actually, does bonus? Actually, bonus would recognize this because he has history with the Fu clan, so he recognizes them. He's like, "Yeah, I know what this means."
So I'm gonna keep my mask off, and like, I'm gonna let like the tattoo around my eye, like the ankh around my eye, show. Less. And like the metallic ink around my arm flows back into the tattoos that I have on my arms. As I give another stern knock.
give it a stern knock. Make me a luck check.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh, joyous day.
Okay.
One
So-
one down. One down.
Yeah, so it's only a bare fail, so he's not gonna shoot at you. So you knock again, and you hear someone yell in like Mandarin, from inside the room. Do you speak Mandarin? No, right?
No, I don't think I do.
Wow,
I don't
that's
think I do.
unfortunate.
It doesn't say.
Bonus
doesn't say.
Speaks Japanese, but doesn't speak Mandarin. So
I'm
White, but
gonna
he speaks Japanese.
I'm gonna speak some Egyptian though.
So, somebody else yells you in Mandarin, you yell back at them in Egyptian. Perfect. We are the best negotiators. So
Hold
you
on,
yell
I
in
can tell
Egyptian.
I can tell you what exactly I say. Hold on.
I'm gonna find out what this kid's name is. What the old man's name is too, actually. That's important.
So they don't have Egyptian on here.
Yeah, they speak Arabic, I think.
Arabic. I'm gonna say afta, which is open up.
So you yell in like Arabic back at this dude.
Egyptian Arabic.
Egyptian
Yeah.
Arabic, and I think what's Bonus gonna do? He wants to kick in the door and just like assault this kid because he's gonna knock a third time, and I think now this kid opens the door, and he is a young, like early 20s, like 5'6", 5'7", like Chinese punk. So he's got like the short black hair. He has a sleeve tattoo of like a Chinese dragon.
Oh, nice.
And he's got like a cigarette like loosely like limp in his mouth. He's wearing like the sleeveless like wife beater guinea t-shirt, you know, and like sweatshirt like sweatpants, and he looks like us up and down. He's like, "What do you want?"
Oh, just wanted to talk.
Like, about what?
So I heard you want to get into a gang.
He's like, "Oh, great, my old man sent you." And he goes to slam the door in your face, but Bonus is gonna make a strength check to not make that happen. Yep. So this guy's like, "Oh, my old man sent you," and he moves the door to slam it, and Bonus like jerks his like bionic arm and like catches it in the wooden door, and the door like the bends around his bionic arm a little bit, like splinters. And he just like, and he holds the door open, and the kid's
May
like,
we come
"All right,
in?
man, like, what's your problem?"
May we enter?
And he's like, "What? Fine, whatever." And he like leaves the door, he leaves the doorway and like ushers you into the apartment.
So I'm gonna like look over his room and everything. Look, this can be done one of two ways. Either you cooperate with us, and I'm gonna flick my head forward and have the mask come up, or we can beat some sense into you. And I can assure you that I am more cooperative than my associate here.
Bonus cracks his knuckle again.
Now, if you know who the Malfu clan is, then you know who we are.
So make me. This would be an intimidation check. So make me a strength.
But he's also got to make the intelligence check to see if he knows who we are.
To know who we are.
That's a 9.
He does not know who we are. So he's like brand new to the game. Like he's probably like an initiate, so he hasn't like gone through the full ritual to join, which is probably like a beating probably. So he's probably still like that like recruit like initiate stage where he doesn't know about us. Like let me recognize immediately.
So how many screens are in this room?
How many screens? There is a TV in the wall. And that's
Because
probably
I know that people at least know the symbol of the jackal.
it. Yeah.
So there's like a cable box plugged into it.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So I'm gonna transfer a symbol of the jackal on like a public AR screen to the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like the jackal head angry.
Yeah. So you like flash it up onto the screen. It doesn't take any check. This is like an old building that like barely functions with Wi-Fi and stuff. So you can just like boop, you know, on the background of your AR display, just like flip it over. The TV turns on, and like the Anubis. I don't know. So you see that like he was previously watching like some like Chinese language like TV channel, and it changes like it's like statics, and it comes back up as like the Anubis head, like angry and like low growling.
Yeah. If you recognize that symbol, then you know who I am at least.
He's going to roll with advantage to see if he knows who you are. Wow, he still does not know.
Hold on. Wait. Let me make my own check here. Finally. And then I'm gonna flash up like another like image of things that I've done in the past.
Okay. You flash up like a quick series of like newsreels from like previous headlines that you've like made and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh."
Recognize me from like social media. He's like, oh.
He's like, I think he's like he doesn't know you like that much. He's probably
knows
still like
of me.
yeah, he knows like you like he's heard you in the news and stuff, and he's like, oh, like, yeah, I've heard some of the things you do.
Then you know, dealing with gangs is a downward slope that you do not get out of. Trust me. Now, my suggested action is that you go downstairs and you appreciate your grandfather, because who knows how many days he has left. Appreciate it. And I'm going to like get up like really close to him and like grab him by the shoulders and don't let go. That man is giving you a room. He could easily kick you out on the street and send you to go live with that gang and see how that turns out. The Maofu are dangerous. And having your hand in their pot means that you're indebted to them for the rest of your life. There is no getting out. You'll never see your family again. Is that what you want?
Make me a charisma check with advantage. Because that and this music are really like touching, so we're gonna see. Yeah.
7, yes.
So as you say this, you notice like you know like the twinkle in somebody's eye before they're about to cry.
Yeah.
You see that he shuts it down because he's a manly gangbanger who does not cry in front of men. However, he does almost cry, and he's like, yeah, you're right. And he stands up, and he like looks around, and I think
No.
he walks over to like his front door, and he rips the like rice mat Maofu clan insignia off of the door, and he walks over and he lifts open like the window of his apartment and tosses it into the alleyway, and then slams the window closed.
So I'm gonna take a small AR card from my pocket. Now, me and my associate plan on frequenting this establishment. Me and him find it very pleasing that someone still has the decency to serve good food. And we appreciate that. If you ever have any trouble, don't be afraid to contact us. And I'm gonna give him the card with like 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And it's an AR card.
Yeah.
So like it shows like the Anubis chibi like panting happily, and then it shows like a constantly changing number or like set of like phone number.
Cool.
If you run into any trouble, give me a call.
And he's like, yeah, thanks. I'll probably have to get your help at some point. And he like runs his hand over the back of his neck and stuff. And you realize that like now that he's like calmed down, he takes a gun out of the back of his like waistband and like plops it on the desk, well, like the coffee table, and he's like, yeah, thanks. And we cut back to
Having friends.
we cut back. So
Oh yeah.
and it's
Oh yeah.
so stricture number 83 of the Great Spherical Doctrine. So
This man is Are you just sitting there stone-faced the entire time looking out the front windshield?
No, I'll look at this guy. Fake smile plastered on my face.
So are you gonna like try to stop him from reading off these? He's gonna keep doing this.
Like, what are you gonna try and do here?
Yeah.
Well, I need to look at my character sheet once more. Because I think I have something for this, but...
So they don't notice the duffel bag in the back of the car, so you're safe for now.
You know what? I wonder if I could pull this off. Because the thing you said earlier, I could totally do it. But the thing is whether or not they would notice.
Yeah.
Well,
He's got metallic junk.
you know what? I'm gonna roll down the window.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to place... gonna lean out the side with one hand. And I'm gonna go, well, you know, this has been a great conversation with you. And I'm going to spray my suggestion serum out.
Okay. So that is.
Oh jeez.
Okay, so that's. Which one is that?
It's the same one from before. It has multiple effects.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
So, make me an agility check, and then add your agility stat, and then I'm gonna do the exact same thing, but for perception for these guys.
Ooh, luck is on my side. It's a 10 plus 6.
Wow.
Oh,
They got a
wow.
9. So yeah, so you roll the window down, and you're like, all right, and you point at his brochure. At the same time, let a leak of this gas like flow up into his nostrils, and his eyes like super dilate like a cat on catnip, and is like. So yeah, what do you want to do?
And I'm going to, seamlessly continue the same sentence with, but isn't there something you should tell your fellow churchgoers about your body?
He turns to his friends and goes, "I'm gay." And there's a general like there the other cultists look to him and are like, you can't see their faces, but the sheer air of confusion in this street right now is palpable. As the cultists are like, oh, I mean, it's not a sin, but like, good for you, buddy, I guess. Whatever.
And robotic.
Well, that's not really what I meant, you know. Very nice of you to try and save face, but I mean the mechanics. I'm going all in on this now. I don't even care.
I'm going all in. He's going all in, fellas.
Okay, so he goes, okay, I don't know. So he goes, my ex-wife was a robot. And then, like, the other cultists, like, collective gasp of shock.
Kill the sinner!
I'm gonna make a charisma check at disadvantage for this brainwashed cultist to see if he gets attacked or not. As a cockeyed number. Let's see. Okay, so no, they don't attack him. However, they also they move away from your car and like grab him and like move him on the sidewalk and like whispering to themselves in like hushed tones, trying to figure out what just happened. Firstly, they're really just confused about what's going on. I mean, I don't even know what to do at this point.
Just drive away.
Yeah, I guess. So we're just like calmingly driving away. Yeah, sure. That encounter's over now. I guess. Cut back to our lovely couple of calm, pro good guy duo. Ironic, but whatever. So we walk down our the steps back into the kitchen, and the grandson's with us, and he like hugs his grandfather really tight, really wholesome, and big contrast here. Wow, and and the grandfather like offers that cred stick to you again, and is like, take the please take my thanks. Like your meal is paid for. Like don't need to pay for anything. You already gave me $1,000, but
no repayment necessary.
Let's see. Is Bonus gonna be a wanker and take the money?
Don't do it.
Wow, he got a 9 out of 10. That's still a pass for disadvantage. Yeah. So he does indeed take the. Does not take the payment. He's like he bows this time. He's like he bows to the old man and everybody else, and the grandson and the granddaughter are like they both like. Well, the granddaughter hugs both of us, and the grandson is like his nose is red, and he's like teary eyed, but he's not crying yet. He's still holding tight to his manliness, if you will. And then we walk back out to our cars, having eaten a fantastic meal.
I'm gonna like flip my jacket back on, and like flip down my helmet as I look back and nod to the grandson.
You do that, and I'm gonna make a check for him. Also a disadvantage because I want to bully this poor 20-year-old kid. Great. You nod to him, and he begins sobbing uncontrollably. Just full like he starts like weeping, and then he like hugs his grandfather really tight, and like you can hear like the yells of just it's just a girly cry, very loud sob. So we get back on our bikes, having had that truly wholesome
start to pursuit.
Yeah, so now time to go harass some children, some young gang members. I like how our mission is to rough up some gang members, and we just
And we
convinced
just helped the
someone
family
to
come
not get in the
closer
gang.
together. Yeah, we just brought a family closer together. Do we pass by everything that X has encountered?
I think we passed by the criminal still handcuffed in the middle of the road. But there is now a group of people who are like photographing him, but not helping him. They're standing in a circle around him on the street, watching him
And-
writhe and yell.
And what of the cultists?
So after like half an hour more of like driving or whatever, like an hour more of driving, we do pass the same cultists, but luckily we get a green light and we can just like, drive right through.
Drive right past them.
We do see that the whole group are all like group hugging the middle guy whose like hood is down. We don't know why they're group hugging him and why he's sobbing too, but
So as
we're in an
we
emotional moment
pass,
here.
I'm gonna like yell out to them, "Fucking weirdos!"
Wow. Okay, you're gonna do that. Is your mask on by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you yelled that. They don't really pay attention. They're too busy consoling their friend who has made great emotional steps forward today.
Breakthroughs.
Yeah, the martyrs have blessed him today. And-
No, I'm not gonna yell out weirdos. I'm gonna yell hippies.
Okay. Yeah. So you do that.
After being such a kind and gentle soul, I'm just gonna like berate these spherical church members.
Yeah. So just before we end off this episode, really a wholesome note for a really depressing setting. So the restaurant is called Huang's Little China. Or Huang's
Oh,
Little
that's
China.
adorable.
Yeah, and it's led by the Huang family. And the grandson's name is Steve. Steve Huang. The old man's name I'm gonna come up with right now.
Zhang Shi Wang.
Let's see, real name generator.
I was gonna say Zhang Shi.
How do you spell Jiangxi?
Xian.
X-I... What?
Xi
Uh-huh.
Wang or Wang. Zhang Shi Wang.
Led by Shiwang Huang. Huang. Or Huang.
Xian Wang.
So, Shiwang Huang. And his grandson is Steve.
Xian Wang.
Oh my god. Well, I think I'm gonna end this episode off here. We got literally
perfect.
nothing done.
It's fine.
But
It's
it's worth
fine.
it. Character development, okay? It's all part of the story.
It's fun. Plot development.
Yeah. So
That
yeah,
sets us up. That sets us up for a later campaign, though.
it does, and I have so many ideas. It's gonna be so good. Don't worry about
It's
it.
gonna be crispy like panko fried shrimp.
Yeah, with some wontons, my guy. Wontons. The real wontons.
Wontons.
Wontons. Some huang tongs. It's one of the new
Oh, I
menus.
love it. I love it. Honestly, that was an amazing episode.
Yeah, so roll the outro, my friend. Get this on the roll.
Thank you all so much for joining us on this fun campaign. I know we derived a little bit, but it was a good time. We hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. If you want to subscribe, support us, grow us out. If you want to watch these live, go to XXX Mark Capone XXX on Mixer, and you can see these live without any of the outtakes, all of the shenanigans. Thank you all so much for Kodian and for X. We will see you next time on Quest for the Core.